Hey guys, Craig Zuckerman with Z-Line Fitness. Today I want to talk to you about two kind of misconceptions that using a fitness ball or a standing desk is great for your back. I'll explain why, I'll show you why these things can actually be more detrimental to you than good, and also show you just little things you can do to actually make these two devices work for you instead of working against you. So, let's start out with the standing desk. Although, yes, a great idea. You're standing up, you're using your legs, you're using your body. You can stand in a nice posture while using your desk. It comes in with some problems too. I have a lot of people that come into my studio having knee pain, and when I see this tension of the quad, this kind of chronic knee pain behind the kneecap on both knees, then I always ask, are you using a standing desk? And most of the time they're saying yes. The reason this becomes a problem is when I stand, I am using my quad muscles to be able to stand up. And if I especially lock my quads or tense my quads up, especially work can be a little bit stressful. You're working on a project, you're not noticing that you're really like locking those knees back, then you're stressing the quad muscle, which in turn will take the kneecap, press it into the end of where the femur bone, where those connect, and that creates knee pain, chronic knee pain. A lot of times I'll know this, and you can find this out for yourself. If you go to stretch your quad and it's incredibly tight and painful in that knee, you feel that knee pain that you're noticing, then you may be having a problem with this, especially if you're using a standing desk. So that's one of the problems that a standing desk creates. Now, there are some ways to help this while you're standing, which is soften your knees. Keep checking in, making sure you're softening your knees up while you're using a standing desk. Doing some exercises in between, every hour or two. Kind of do this little guy, butt kickers. That's where you keep the knees back and you're working this hamstring out, the opposing muscle to your quad, which then stretches your quad out. And by working that counter muscle, you help to stabilize the musculature of your leg a little bit more, and that also helps out with the knee pain. But another great thing is don't always stand. Sit sometimes, stand sometimes. Anything you do can become a repetitive stress, meaning that it can create a problem if you keep doing it over and over and over again. So standing all the time can be a repetitive stress, therefore causing pain. Just like sitting all the time can be a repetitive stress and cause pain. So the more you can change things up, do things differently, the better off you'll be. One of the other things I have a problem with standing desks are neck and shoulder issues. So if you're setting up ergonomics right and you're wanting to have that screen right in front of you and you want to have your arms rested on an armrest of your chair so that you don't have all this stress of holding your arms up, well, there's nothing to rest your arms on when you're working on a computer at a standing desk. And it creates even more of a possibility that your keyboard's too low and you're holding stress in your neck, or the screen can be too far away and you're stressing now your neck and your head out. So you're going to run into the same complications as you would from a sitting desk or a seated desk or seated at your desk that you would from standing. So that's one of the biggest problems I have. I have a lot of people with neck and shoulder issues from holding their arms up, holding their stress here while working on a keyboard in the standing position. Now, there are some, apparatus out there that can come behind you for your arms to rest on, or having a desk that allows you to rest your arms on the high desk with your monitor up at the proper height so that your arms are supported and it takes the stress off your neck. So if you can do that, great. You kind of push your monitor back a little bit, and that works really well. But just know that this is another possible thing that could cause problems when doing a standing desk. Now, if you are going to do a standing desk, one of the great things you could add in are one of those squishy mats. It's kind of like if you've ever been to Starbucks or something, or the cash register at the grocery store, they tend to stand on these squishy, very squishy mats. I'll find one on Amazon, throw it in the description below for you guys. What it does is it reduces the stress on the joints in the back. And in fact, Starbucks alone, when they added in those mats by the cashiers and stuff, saw a reduction in 40% in injury or, injuries that people were having, back pain they were having, knee pain they were having at work. So it really does help. Grab yourself one of those squishy mats to be standing on while you're doing your work and on a standing desk. Of course, switching it up from a standing to seating desk will really help out too. And so let's go on to the next misconception. that this thing is a great seat to have when at work. Yeah, not so much. And the biggest problem comes in that if you're using a fitness ball at your desk, then you really have to sit up very correct. Now I have mine kind of flat for a reason. You would be using a higher one. You don't want this kind of a bent knee position. You would want to be more up at a 90-degree angle. But the problem is that I have to really maintain a proper posture while working. Now, if I'm working on a spreadsheet or really focusing into my work, most likely this is what I'm doing at work instead of sitting up. So a fitness ball just makes you work a lot harder, and if you have a 6-8 hour day, you're probably not going to be paying attention enough to work that hard to keep the proper posture. The reason we have chairs that have back supports, head supports, all this stuff is to offset gravity's weight on our body, to give us reminders of that postural positioning to help us maintain a seated position. And you work with this is the same problem that I have with the ball as what I have with standing at your desk, and that's the fact that you have nothing to support your arms. There's nothing here, so then most likely I'm going to tense my shoulders up while working on the computer because there's no arm rest to take all the stress off and get that proper alignment with my hands and the keyboard. So those are the major stressors to these things. Now, if you switched it up, maybe use your chair one day, use a fitness ball for some of the day, stand some of the day. That would be ideal because you're switching things up and not having that repetitive stress. So use all these tips when you're considering either using a fitness ball or having a standing desk, because you may not find you're having the great results of reducing your back pain and neck pain that you thought you would have. Hey guys, if you liked what you saw there and want some more tips on ergonomics, check out these videos. I also have some exercises which are ideal for helping out with any neck pain, shoulder pain, or lower back pain that you may be experiencing while working on a computer. So check these videos out too. Don't forget to hit subscribe and also click on that bell so you get reminders the next time I put out a video. I'm Craig Zuckerman with Z-Line Fitness, helping you feel better, look better, and perform better.